My name's Regina Manudri, and I am San Francisco City Librarian. The San Francisco Public Library is really honored to host Brave Little Girls, an inspirational exhibit of children's books and illustrations depicting fictional and real-life girls and young women in non-traditional roles. From Pippi Longstocking to Anne Frank and Meredith on the High Wire, courage, assertiveness, inquisitiveness, spunk, and a can-do spirit are the attributes of all the girls and women featured in this exhibit. Brave Little Girls was conceived and prepared by the National Museum of Women in the Arts in Washington, D.C. Before its arrival here, it was at the Los Angeles Public Library, and when it leaves San Francisco at the end of November, it will go to Denver. The San Francisco Public Library is especially pleased to host this exhibit for a number of reasons, all of whom are on the stage right here, right now. First, we feel that it will inspire girls and young women, as well as boys, to read, which after all is a primary mission of the public library. The girls and women depicted in this collection represent diverse cultures and ethnic traditions. They are a reflection of the San Francisco Bay Area, and in them, we believe many girls, and boys too, will find inspiration and role models. A second reason we're so pleased to host this exhibit is the opportunity it presents the library to reach out into the community and build important partnerships with residents, community organizations, schools, and others interested in the healthy development of young people in our society. Each of our 26 branch libraries will include exciting programs for children and youth as a part of this exhibit, all designed to encourage reading, self-esteem, and confidence. Teen girls will act as docents for the exhibit, and the public schools will include classes and discussions about the exhibit and its meaning. It is all very exciting. Brave Little Girls was not intended to be a traveling exhibit. However, public and private response has been so extraordinary that funders came forward to sponsor its movement so that more of our citizens can see it. And in San Francisco, the Three Guineas Fund, a nonprofit organization founded to foster equity and opportunity for women and girls, came forward as the lead sponsor. It is my pleasure this morning to introduce to you now the founder and president of Three Guineas Fund, Kate Muther. Kate?
For part of this summer, my children shared a room for the first time in a little beach cottage by the sea, and it was also their first bunk bed. And my son on the top bunk, who's 8, put a sign, "Yes, boys only." And my little girl, who's 5, on her bunk, she put a sign, "No boys allowed." And I thought, I think I need Kit, the industrious flea circus girl. This is the story of the girl who disguises herself as a boy so that she can work in the circus. And this reminded me of how in defining who we are, we, both children and adults, sometimes impose limits on ourselves rather than celebrating the possibilities. And Brave Little Girls is a celebration of possibilities. The books and the illustrations allow and invite children to see themselves in a very many diverse number of characters, all of whom share qualities of courage and accomplishment and self-confidence. It's a rich and diverse set of role models. Meredith on the High Wire falls many, many times before she can get to the end of the wire. And her teacher, Bellini, says, "Everyone falls in the beginning, but most give up. You kept on trying." And later, Meredith is able to help her teacher overcome his fears. Phyllis Wheatley learns to read at a time when it was against the law for slave children to learn to read. And she grows up to become an important African-American poet. In another story, Miss Rumphius, a girl makes 3 promises to herself: to visit faraway places, to return to live by the sea, and to do something to make the world more beautiful. This value of giving back to community is a central theme of what this exhibition and the programs are about. The Three Guineas Fund provided leadership and initiative to bring this exhibition to San Francisco. Others in the community realize the possibilities. Other foundations, community-based organizations, the library, businesses, individual donors and volunteers, artists and illustrators have all created the programs that make this a special gift to our community. So Brave Little Girls is not just for girls only. It is for our community. It's for children and parents and teachers and teens. Just as the Brave Little Girl exhibition celebrates real life as well as make-believe girls of courage, today we are recognizing Bay Area girls and young women who demonstrate these same qualities. Wendy Takuda will tell you about the Brave Girls Contest, which was, by the way, a community-based initiative begun by the United Way and completed with leadership by the Junior League of San Francisco. Wendy is a television anchorwoman and journalist with 4 Emmy Awards, first as an anchor for KPIX TV and now with KRON's News Center 4. She's also an author with her husband of 2 children's books, and they are working on a 3rd. Wendy Takuda is a role model and inspiration for girls and young women in our community and beyond. Wendy, you are a brave woman.
Thank you, Kate. You'll excuse me if I'm still waking up and having my coffee this morning, but I know you understand what that's like. I know you do. I'm delighted to be here today. I have grown up thinking of the public library as a very friendly place. My mother was very insistent that we come on a regular basis and check out books. It's true. It was part of my upbringing. And at that time, which was just about the time Cro-Magnon Man was standing up straight, you didn't see a lot of Asian Americans in books. You didn't read about them. You didn't see pictures of them. And when you did see an image from where I stood, particularly of a Japanese American growing up shortly after World War II, the image was not likely to be a pleasant one. So I am delighted to see this exhibit happening today. Actually, it was an image, not in a book, but on television, that ended up changing my life in Seattle when I grew and a young woman, was looking for a job, and the first Asian American woman appeared on television on the news there, and it was like a national event. My father would call the entire family to the front room to watch her. He'd go, "Barbara's on TV." Her name was Barbara Tanabe. She was a wonderful lady, and somebody I knew her and called her and asked if I could come down and watch what she did for the day. And I did, and that was the day that I realized that this was what I wanted to do. But I don't know that it would have occurred to me had I not seen her on television. So these images that we see of ourselves, whoever we are, whether it's in books or on TV or in posters or dolls, whatever, are very powerful because those images are what give young girls the license to dream. It was when I looked at Barbara Tanabe, I thought to myself, if she could do that, I could do that. And I really am not sure that that would have occurred to me had she not appeared on television. As Kate mentioned, the San Francisco Library and the 3 Guineas Fund put out a call for a few brave girls during the summer. Their goal was to find 4 young women who exemplified the ideals of courage and self-esteem and independence and creativity that you will see in the exhibit. The nominators as well, they wanted to be young people. So on this stage right now, you're seeing not only the winners, but they're the people who nominated them, all of them 18 years younger. Organizations serving girls throughout the Bay Area responded. There were about 40 applications that came in, were reviewed by the Junior League of San Francisco, which had the tough job of choosing the honorees. The 4 winners, as well as their nominators, are going to be awarded $250 by the Junior League. And if we can now ask the president of the Junior League, Courtney Rice, to come up here to join me for the presentations of the awards. Courtney?
I'll be brief. I just want to say that the Junior League is honored to be a part of this essay contest and awards ceremony. We have been a presence in the Bay Area community for going on 85 years and working very hard as a women's organization to help improve the Bay Area. And we are delighted to be honoring these women today, all of whom are providing excellent examples of bravery, courage, but also community service and making the Bay Area a little bit of a better place to be. So thank you very much.
Stay right behind me here. Okay, great. I mean, my feeling is that they're very young, but they really are heroes in the truest sense. You know, we think of heroes as being movie stars and sports stars, but really, we find them, I think, in our schools and homes. That's where we should be looking. And that's where these ones came from. Now, our first winner today is 14 years old. She is a young woman living in San Francisco, and she was nominated by a fellow student, a friend of hers. Both of them go to University High School. The winner's name is Gina DeVries. Did we have that wrong on here?
DeVries is right, but I go to the urban school.
She goes to the urban school. And now, Meredith Osbourne, who nominated her, do you go to University High School, or you also? Okay, so you go to university, and you go to the urban high school, and I don't know how you met, but I'm sure there's a story.
Summer school.
All right, they go to summer school. Now we're all straightened out, okay. But let me tell you a little bit about Gina today, because she really does deserve this award. Gina is the youngest member of the Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Advisory Committee to the San Francisco Human Rights Commission, the City Commission. She has had the courage to come out as a lesbian to her classmates at the age of 13. And if you can think back to what it was like when you were 13 and how important it is to most 13-year-olds to just try to be like everybody else, you can imagine how difficult it is to be different and to take pride in that difference. That takes a lot of bravery. One of the things that Meredith, her friend, had mentioned was that Gina had to endure, when she did come out, a lot of harassment. She was ostracized by some of her classmates. And I think back again to when you were 13, what that would be like. Gina had the courage to stand firm. She refused to lie about her sexual orientation. And now Gina is setting an example by working with other lesbian and gay teenagers to help them if their parents are not accepting, helping them to find support, helping them to find encouragement. Will you please join me in honoring Gina DeVries and also her nominator and her friend from summer school, Meredith Osbourne. You want to go ahead and say a few words and we'll give you your prize here?
Yeah, should I speak first?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Let me move my coffee cup.
That's all right. Oh dear, can people hear me and it's not too loud?
It's a great mic.
Okay. First, I would really like to say thank you to Meredith for nominating me. She is an amazing young woman and she has done a lot of great things. And there are a lot of reasons why she herself should be receiving an award like this. I'd also like to thank the Junior League and the San Francisco Public Library for sponsoring this. It's a great event. And I'd also like to thank my parents, Chris Supanovich and Dan DeVries. As was said before, I'm 14 and I'm a lesbian, and I came out to my parents when I was 11, and then later came out at school when I was 12 and 13. My parents have always been incredibly encouraging and loving and really supportive of me and of my identity. And just because I'm gay, that didn't change anything. They were always still really wonderful with me. They're very proud of me, and they're very proud of the work that I've done for the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgendered community. But the problem is that not every parent is like that. Not every lesbian, gay, or bisexual, or transgender child has that system of support, and that's a real problem in our community. Many times we're cut off from our families, or we're treated like, in the words of a friend of mine, the family tragedy. Now, nobody deserves to be treated like that, gay, straight, whatever. It's not right. I think if there's anything that people take away from what I'm saying here today, it's that you should accept your children and love them no matter what. Because if you don't, not only are they missing out on the love of a parent, but you as a parent are missing out on a lot, and you're missing out on the lives of your children. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Photo op, photo op.
Check as well, don't forget that. Thank you. Congratulations.
I should just take this up next time we'll do it right when they come up to the. Well, now you know why she won. We're all going to be voting for her someday. I'm not kidding. Okay, our second winner today is Talia, and you know what, Talia? No, you got to tell me if I'm pronouncing this right. Glebter. Is that right? No. I'm getting everything right today. Galibter. Thank you very much for that Nice correction. Talia Galibter. Talia lives in Kensington. I want to tell you a little bit about her. Talia was born prematurely. She weighed, when she was born, 2 pounds. She was due in March, and she was born in November. She was in the intensive care unit for 4 months. You probably don't remember all of that, Talia, but you do know what happened after that. That Talia, because of her prematurity, has been living with some disabilities. We're happy to tell you that Talia is learning to walk. She is extremely active. Her favorite sport is swimming, and she's very insistent about living a very active life. Talia was nominated by a young woman she actually met in the intensive care unit, or we should say her parents became very close when they were spending a lot of time in the intensive care unit together. Jacqueline Ray Burbank was also born prematurely, and that was about 10 years ago at Children's Hospital in Oakland.
I have a bicycle with 3 wheels, and I love it. I like going fast down hills with my dad. The sports I like are swimming, baseball, and riding horses. When I went to Club Med, I went sailing, scuba diving in the pool, and I swung on the high trapeze. The trapeze was very scary. This summer, I tried a ropes course. It wasn't too scary. I like going to Camp Quito in the summer. I love camping in my sleeping bag 2 nights in a row. Also, I like reading lots of books and going to the library. Thank you for the special award.
Now, Talia, I don't know about that trapeze stuff. Well, you should be very proud. I know you are. Our third honoree today is, they're all exceptional. Venus's story is, between the ages of 8 and 12, Venus lived in and out of homelessness. Her mother was battling a drug addiction, and at one point they lived in a homeless shelter. Now, in spite of that, Venus Rodriguez, who is now 17, Venus, won a 4-year scholarship to the French-American International School, has a 3.5 grade point average, has already been offered a 4-year scholarship to college. Think of what that took. While her mom was in a drug treatment program, she lived in a foster home for 3 years. At 17 years old now, Venus, in addition to doing so well in school, is an advocate for homeless kids, was invited by President Clinton to participate in the Kids Town Hall meeting with Peter Jennings from another network, Venus. We're going to have to fix that. Venus has also been selected by Mayor Brown to sit on the San Francisco Youth Commission. Will you please congratulate Venus for winning this award today?
I'm still emotional for this young girl's story. She makes me feel like so good to see somebody, because I would have broke down if I knew I had to be in a wheelchair. And it's just seeing how brave this little girl is. She really deserved the award. I never felt like a brave little girl. I felt like an independent young lady. So I was really surprised to get this award. I would like to thank my mother, Katrina Powell, who's been cleaning Suburb for what, four years now? I would also like to thank my mentor, Naomi Gray. I would like to thank Christina Wasserman for starting the program and Kate Muther for bringing it to San Francisco. I would also like to thank the Junior League for running the contest and thank the San Francisco Public Library for holding us today. Thank you.
Our final winner today is Rosalie Ward of Berkeley. She was nominated by her sister, Melissa, who's sitting next to her up on the stage there. At the age of 9, Rosalie played the role of Cosette, the little girl in the production of Les Mis. And halfway through the production, Rosalie was diagnosed with Wilms tumor, which is a cancer that grows on the kidney. While she was battling that cancer with chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery, she continued to go to school. She continued to work with different benefits to help fight cancer. We're thrilled to say that Rosalie has made a full recovery, and she now continues to attend cancer camp to help other kids who are dealing with cancer. If we can please, excuse me for 1 second, bring up and welcome to the podium here and congratulate Rosalie Ward and also her sister for nominating her.
I'm flattered to be honored as a brave little girl today, but the effort was really Melissa's in writing the essay. When I was fighting cancer, I didn't really consider it as an act of braveness, but merely what I had to do at the time. But the experience did give me insight, and I'm able to use that to help inspire others fighting cancer, I hope. So thank you.
We wanted to, at this time, and then later we're going to have you all stand up so we can all take a picture together. But first of all, if there are any questions out there, we wanted to give anyone out there an opportunity to ask any questions. And if there aren't, that's okay too. We're going to have all, can we have all the winners come up here, and can you give them again one big hand, because they sure deserve it. And the nominators too. We want to invite all of you to not only congratulate the brave young women in person, but to take a look at the exhibit that we have been talking about. It's really, I have not had a chance to see it, but they tell me it's extraordinary, and I love the philosophy of it. So we can all proceed out and take a look at the exhibit, and please offer your congratulations again to these young women. Thanks for being with us this morning. Thank you, Wendy. I think they will be tomorrow. I'm not sure if they are today. Oh. It is hard, isn't it? Oh, come on, Talia.
corrected.